sir. Naalala niyo po ba sila? Sila po yung mga matatalik ng kaibigan.
Of course I know them. Why do you ask this question? Am I supposed to know you? Something wrong with me?
That's what we are here to find out, Mr. Agawili.
Doc, bakit kami naaalala pa ni Hugo pero si Ali hindi?
Part po yan ng progression ng Alzheimer's ni Mr. Agawili. Yung mga pinaka-recent niyang memory, yan ang una niyang nalilimutan.
Kaya po, kayo, naaalala po niya. Pero ako po, o yung naging trip natin sa Buena Vista, hindi po niya yan fully marirecall.
Nakakalito, Ali, ha?
Kung tayo po nalilito, mas lalo na po yung pasyente, which is why most of the time they become very frustrated or agitated.
In other words, masungit siya.
Hindi ko kasi niya maintindihan kung bakit siya nasa ospital. Hindi na po process ng utak niya yung mga information like, nasaan ba siya? Anong oras na ba?
Pero naalala niya ang pangalan niya.
Yung mga information na nasa long-term memory natin, kaya ng pangalan o kaya yung kung kailan sila kinasal ng asawa niya, they're still in there. Kaso in his mind, baka po parang kahapon lang nangyari yon.
Kumbaga po, attorney, meron po siyang mga bagay na naaalala, meron din pong hindi. Yung iba nagkaka-jumble-jumble po yan sa utak ni Lolo Sir. Kaya minsan, kapag kausap niya ako, o kahit si Mang Tino, pwede yung nasa isip niya si Hana po yung kausap niya.
Which is why it's very important sa current state ni Mr. Agawili that he is surrounded and that he has strong personal relationships. And that yung mga taong nakapaligid sa kanya, well, here's Mr. Agawili's MRI. As you can see, buo pa naman yung mga brain tissues niya. Kasi pag severe na yung stage, obvious na po yung damage.
Meaning, okay pang utak ni Hugo. Bakit nagkakaganyan siya? Bakit parang nasa severe stage na siya?
It might seem na nasa severe stage na siya, but his MRI says na wala pa siya doon. So, posible nga na talagang malala lang yung attack na nangyari. And base na rin sa kwento niyo, it could have been triggered by his extreme emotional state and stress brought on by the memory of Hana and the negative emotions that go with it.
Kaya po iniisip niya na gusto siya ipakulong ni Hana.
Eksakto, Ali, na-stuck siya doon. Ito yung tinatawag nating emotional containment. And compounded by his memory loss, it could make him paranoid and very suspicious of people.
So, lilipas na ito, right, Doc? Makaka-recover din si Hugo like in the past.
Well, we'll have to lift him out of this stage. Because like I said, pwede namang moderate stage pa lang naman siya.
So, Doc, yung sitwasyon po ngayon ni Lolo Sir, under moderate stage pa lang po yun?
Well, nandyan na yun. Dati naman, even before this incident, may mga attacks na nangyayari. Pero pwedeng hindi as severe and as frequent as this one. He can still function with minimal assistance like before.
Noted po. Kaya kailangan po talaga malagpasan na yung nangyari sa kanila ni Hana, no?
Yes, he has to get out of this emotional state of his. Kasi kung magtatagal siya sa ganyang negative emotions, pwede itong mag-spiral downwards into depression and that can push him to progress to severe cognitive decline. Doon, there's no recovering from that. At pag dumating tayo doon,
So, running a company would be out of the question.
Hi everyone! Subscribe now to get the latest updates and videos of Too Good to Be True on YouTube.
Don't forget to like this video.